Okay, so man, this is right. There's since I think it was the end of last year, October, November, right? Godzilla minus one. All the talk, all the talk. People saying it was the best Godzilla film ever, right? Ever. And there's been a lot of Godzilla films, a lot, right? Black and white ones. I think there were some silent ones. You know what I mean? Like, and then we've had this resurgence of recent years, like the Godzilla. I think it was Gareth Edwards that started it, and then Adam Wingate, I think, has done the last few. Right, Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire, I think, was the last one. So there was all of this. Now, out of the new ones, the only one I really dug was Kong, Skull Island, which isn't Godzilla, right? So I thought, you know what? Let me give it just a look. Because I remember the cartoon as a kid, Godzilla and Godzuki. So it's one of those ones that I've always wanted to enjoy, but I just never have. So yeah, I gave minus one a look, people. You know what I mean? It is written and directed by Takashi Yamazaki. You know what I mean? It is produced by, let me get here, Go Abe, Kazuki Kishida, Kiyashiro Moyara, and Kenji Yamanda. Executive produced by Hiyashi Uzi, Minami Ikawa, and Shuji Abe. Line production from Hirofumi Sakura. Noki Sato handles the music. Kuzo Shibashiki, cinematography. Raiju Majama was on editing duties. Toshoshi Sugnimo, casting. Production design is Anri Jojo. Set decoration, Sakurako Moriarty. Costume design, Iko Mizashima. Hair and makeup, Michael Miyachio. I'm destroying the names. Yeah. Our cast. Ryunosuke Kamiki. Minami Hamabe. Yuki Yamanda. Monetakio Aiko. Hidetaka Yoshioka. Sakura Ando. Kurisuke Sasuke. Sae Nagatani. Miyu Tanaka. And Yaya Endo. Right, the English voice actors, we have Darren Barnett, Elle, Koyu Dale, Greg Chong Sim, Ziara Fazal, James Kyson, Kevin Yang Yi, Ashley Peldon, Everdeen Angels, Brent Muki, Eugene Nomura, Fedor Chin, Jeff Fisher, Kelly Stables, Nelson Lee, Zanu Robinson, and Kizuki Hoyoshi. Oh boy. Yeah. The gist of the story is Feeling as if he unfairly cheated death too many times, Shikishima, a surviving Kamikaze pilot, is attacked on Odo Island, along with many warplane engineers, by a gargantuan monster. After the engineers die because of Shikishima failing to distract the monster, an overwhelming amount of guilt weighs on him, especially after a homeless woman and a baby move into his home when he returns. Shikishima, now on a personal mission, teams up with a large group of veterans to finally take down the monster known as Godzilla. So, yes, there we go. Now, yeah, none of the films really resonated with me. Now, I will say the Apple TV series, right? Legend of Monsters? Legacy of Monsters. Something like that. Yo, that one, I got behind that more. I definitely enjoyed that more. We still had the human issue at times, right? But yeah, that one wasn't too bad. Now with this, it's yeah, I guess it's a little confusing. There's some confusing things about it. Now, I think setting it post-war was probably a really good idea, right? Because especially when you're on a low budget, they made it feel like that time. I thought the effects were really good. Now, this is the thing. I don't quite know how big the budget is. I just heard it wasn't a huge one. So the fact that they were able to create this look, right, and without it looking completely hokey, that's pretty legit. But the monster looked decent. Right? There's a few occasions where you're just like, I mean, but for the most part, right? Look really fucking good, especially with the blue fire and the blue the ribby things that popping out of its back scale. I don't know what you would call it, but yeah, that all looked good, right? Even the damage and all of that on it, boom, killed it. The destruction, just all of that, very, very impressive, very impressive. Um, yeah, but there were some confusing things for me, but I think, right? Firstly, when you're watching a dubbed thing, sometimes it doesn't mirror up as well. Now, this isn't a, I wouldn't say it's a bad dub, but also there's a cultural thing, I think, right? And I notice it a lot with like when I've ever tried anime. You know what I mean? Like the emotions are kind of just to the 10th degree, right? Everything's a little over the top with the reactions and everything like that, right? And so with this, you get it in that live setting, you know, a lot of the things, and you're just like, wait, what are these people doing? Right? Why? That's a crazy reaction to that thing, right? But I think if you watch a lot of Japanese movies, right? It is, you know, because there was that big one, that sci-fi one that dropped on Netflix. I think it was like a couple, 2, 3 years ago. It was the biggest budget sci-fi film ever made at that time. You notice it was a similar things in that, right? It's that weird emotional thing. So I think if you're down with that, if you enjoy a good anime, I think this will hit more for you, right? For me, yeah, there was a lot of things that didn't necessarily make any sense, right? Like the dude is living with the woman and the kid for a long time, but there's no real conversation. There's no real conversation about what's going on and all of which just feel that's a bit odd, right? If it had been a few months, I get it, right? You don't know someone opening up and all of this, but when it's been so long, right? And even to a point where he's like, "Oh, I'm not your dad," right? To the little kid, and it's just like, what? What the fuck are you doing, man? Like you've been playing that role, right? The kid knows no one else, so you would just, yeah, yeah, that I'm your dad, whatever. It's cool. You know what I mean? You might, not necessarily, but don't say it to the kid, right? Like that kind of stuff was weird. That kind of stuff was weird. The Like the thing on Odo. Now I can get the whole feeling guilt because you froze, but then after seeing how ineffective, right, gunfire is, surely you would then be like, okay, right, I froze, but actually, even if I hadn't, it wouldn't have changed anything, right? Wouldn't have changed a fucking thing. Like there would be that kind of internal conversation, you would think, right? I don't know. I don't know. Like this film is over 2 hours. It did feel fucking long. I did feel long. I just it just didn't resonate with me. But here's the thing: none of the Godzilla films have, right? For many different reasons. I switched off the one, um, no, the second one, I think it was King of the Monsters, was when the woman was bringing her kid to work, and she's like, "Oh, my kid likes Godzilla." It was just like, "What? Shut the fuck up!" Nah, and I kind of switched off. No, I think that might have been Godzilla Kong. I forget. It was one of them, and I was just like, "I'm out. I'm out. Too many fucking humans." Right? So there was different reasons throw me out of those films. This one, it just seemed to drag these weird things, like emotional traits the human characters were having, and you're just like, eh, what? You know, but yeah, I think if you enjoy that kind of storytelling, this probably works because, it's an impressive film. Production, I can look at this film and go, production wise, very well done. Very well done. It's just a story. Like, there's the bit when they're in the city by the alleyway, right? Not to say anything else, but here's the thing: alleyway's big enough for two. Alleyway's big enough to two. And in that situation, wouldn't you just rugby tackle someone? You feel me? Like, that's gonna be easier than what we see happen, especially for the person doing it, right? When you think of size and all of that, a tackle is better. And you know what's gonna happen, right? I knew what would happen at the end. I think it was pretty obvious. Pretty obvious. You feel me? But yeah, I think Godzilla Minus One, it's for the Godzilla fan for sure. If you're a Godzilla fan, oh, you're probably in bliss watching this thing. Me, not so much. I can't really see what all the jazz is about, right? All of that thing. But as I said, visually, definitely impressive. So yeah, if you're a big fan, if you're a fan of anime, all of that thing, the Japanese style of storytelling, go check out Godzilla Minus One. It's free on Netflix US and UK. I think you can get it in a few other places as well, Google, all of that jazz. So yeah, Godzilla Minus One. Oh, I did enjoy the classic Godzilla theme, right? When that do 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 ba 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 bum. Like that's just killer. That's just fucking killer, right? When that hit, boom. I was there. I was there. I was ready. I was ready. You feel me? And there were, the fight. Well, it's not really fight, but the Godzilla moments were legit. They were legit. So I was all down for that. It was just the rest of the stuff that I was just like, yawn. But yeah, if you're a fan, you're gonna love this shit. Godzilla Minus One.